What up, everybody? It's your girl. Can y'all hear me? Or can y'all hear me through the speakers like a tweeter? Well, hello there. Today I'm here. As you guys know, I have a guest on the show. Just waiting to pull her up like, hey, love.
Hear me? Or can you hear me through the Look at this. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're
Okay.
sideways.
I'm sideways. Let's try this. How's that?
Yes, that's perfect. Uh-oh,
Okay.
look at me.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay, perfect. We're going to get this interview started. I like to do my intro, then I give a little recap, so on and so forth. So I'm going to mute you, mute me,
Okay.
and start my song. Hold on just a minute.
Is it me or is it hot in here? Is it me or is it hot in here? SoHollywood. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get ignorant. The Hollywood likes to bite. Let's get right for a little bit. The bite is so local. Let's go and bump it a little bit. Let's celebrate like back is going in a little bit. Hit the bottom a little quick. And mix it with some of this. And mix it with Hollywood. And you're far from monotonous. Relax to the gas. Can't even produce more hotness. And it's hip hop pump. It's a female accomplice. Hey, SoHollywood. So Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is it me or is it hot in here? Is it me or is it hot in here?
Hey. What up, everybody? It's your girl, Marquita, but you know what they like to call me, Miss Hollywood. Yes, and you're tuned into another episode of So Hollywood, the podcast. Y'all know I'm starting to get my sound bites all right, so y'all bear with me. But anyways, So Hollywood, the podcast is a platform where everyone is treated equally, and I bring people together with this thing called entertainment. As you guys know, and if you don't know, I'm going to let you know. I like to do recaps, and I like to do a little different here and there. I have actually added a new segment to my show, in which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I like to do a recap of my my last guest. I want to start off by saying it's a full transparency. All of the video that I shot with them, it ended up erasing. Instagram did not let me be great. However, I did have a backup plan. I do have the audio. So they did agree to do a second interview with me. So make sure you guys tune in with Instagram Live then, and I'll let you guys know when that is. But I do have the audio. The audio will drop on Wednesday. All of the audio for my shows drop on Wednesday. So this one will also drop on Wednesday too. But let me get into them. It's the group. They're a group called Legacy. It's spelled different. So if you guys see it, it's Legase, and it's pronounced Legacy. They're a hip hop group. They're brothers to be exact. And their father is Tyen the Lion. So he's a reggae artist, DJ. He's been in the game for over 25 years, I want to say. So he manages them, and he, based off of the visuals that I've gotten from them, they learn a lot from their dad, and it seems like that he's teaching them the right way. Their dad what did he do? He did a lot of reggae. And so they were telling me that they weren't allowed to go to some of those reggae parties, because I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be allowed to go to those reggae parties either, especially back in the day. He was like, yeah, nah. But they definitely grew up in the music industry. They're from North Carolina. They're signed to Stakelum Records, and the founder is Bill Lemons. And Cayenne, the lion, is the actual, he rebranded or is rebranding the brand right now. And so he decided to put his kids in there, and their name is Legacy. And then, like I said before, you will get the interview and a visual to that. But right now, you'll have to settle for the audio because, things happen. But anyways, 40 After, I like to do this thing called Sweet 16, which I do have a guest on the show today. And she is a singer, songwriter, and so on and so forth. I'll get into that as well. So I allow them to sing something, rap something, freestyle, whatever the case may be. Whatever they feel comfortable with, because I don't want to put any pressure, because I'm not that girl. 45 After, I like to do this thing called Top 5 questions, 5 answers to the best of your ability. 50 After, I'll do a wind down, which is your shout outs, last words, and you'll also get to answer the question of the day, in which I like to ask my guests all the time, every time. And then this is the new one to my evil madness that I like to do, and it is called Exclusive Access. Exclusive Access. I like my sound bites.
Yeah.
But it allows the guests to give out anything exclusive that they can give. And if they want to give it out, that's fine. But I got 2 exclusives from the second to last one that I did, and I was like, yeah, why not make this like something that I can do every time and give them the platform to give out something exclusive that they have not told any other media platform or any other interviews, because I know a lot of people got some interviews coming up, but I want to be the first. You feel me? So I also like to do this last thing called Question of the Day, and I like to get my interview guests to answer it at the end of the show. What bothers you about the industry, and what do you think your solution would be to fixing it? Because I know a lot of people have negative aspects, and then also they have some positive things that they can pull out of it. So I like to ask everybody that is dealing with this thing called entertainment what bothers about it, and maybe somebody can help you fix it at the end of the day. Because I'm the type of person that like to connect the dots. And if it makes sense, make it make sense. So, without further ado, I would like to bring my guest to the forefront. This is actually episode 47. I like to call her, I was going to call her Meg B, but then I didn't want to give you no AKAs, but I'm going to call you Megan B, because I didn't want to butcher your name, because I'm always butchering somebody's name. So I'll let you introduce yourself as far as that goes, but I do want to give you your flowers and give you a proper introduction, as I do to all of my guests. It's just a little rundown of what I, do my research, because I always be telling people, if you're a podcaster or if you're interviewing, you got to do your research. Like I got all that, but we're gonna deal with it. So Megan B, she's a singer, songwriter. She was on the Netflix. Oh my God, I watched that show on Netflix, and I just was like, okay, well, I've been watching it a long time ago, and I'm like, okay, well, I've heard of it. Then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
So it's Voice of Fire. It's a Netflix series on Netflix, duh. And she's a certified music therapist, as well as a trained singer. I forgot to say trained singer. But yes, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Shout out to Rothstein.
Yes.
Because I think this is you are actually the second artist that he recommended here to the SoHollywood podcast.
Yes.
And I really appreciate this. And when I started researching you, I was like, man, like you're different in a good way though.
Thank you.
Because I would have never known that you were in the Voice of Fire, for one, because it was just a show that I was like, oh, Pharrell is doing something, so let me check it out for a minute. And I did, so we're gonna get into that as well.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, I like to get into a lot of things. So
Let's get into it.
Just bear with me. I like to
I'm
make
here
this
for
fun and interesting. If there's anything off limits, please, by all means, just say, hey, I'll pass, I plead the fifth, or whatever you want to do. You feel me? So I like to, and you're signed to Casino Gang Records. I forgot to say that. Shout out to Rothstein once again.
Rothstein, yes.
So I like to start my interviews always with this this foundation of how did this thing called entertainment enter your life?
Wow. Well, so I really started with music and entertainment and just kind of being interested in all that from like a really young age, like 6 or 7 years old, I would say. Okay. My mom had this really old piano in her office where she worked. And so I'd go in there and just kind of play around and like, I don't know, it's just always been something that's been in a way therapeutic for me too. So I think really just from a young age, I knew that music was something that I connected to on a really deep and spiritual level, and that it was something that I wanted to pursue, whether it be through entertainment or through therapy or through whatever. But music just in itself has always just been kind of something that I was like, yeah, this is what I need to have this in my life, like at all times. So
do you remember the first like song that you were able to listen to and was like, oh, well, yeah, music is really my therapy. Like, do you remember that first
so
song?
There's a song, two songs come to mind. You remember that song, Sixpence None the Richer is the name of the band, but you probably recognize the melody. Kiss me beneath the, I can't even remember the words, but that song, for some reason, I would sing that song over and over again, like as a young girl, not knowing what the lyrics really were about, but just like, I really liked the melody and the vibe of it and the rhythm and stuff. But then I would also, completely other end of the spectrum, would rock out to some Evanescence when I was young and would that would be like my therapy, like, I guess I was kind of angry, so I was rocking out to some Evanescence, but that, and like kind of using that as a form of expression too. So, but yeah, that Kiss Me song, like, I think that's the first song I did karaoke to, like when I was like 12 or 13 or something, like, so
yeah, a lot of kids don't know what those older songs meant back in the day. We were just singing it up, like, what? Now you have to now you have to do all of the research in these songs and lyrics, because they're very they're set up to do other things.
Yes, wake me up inside. Right, exactly. I can't wake up. So funny.
So around, like, okay, so you said around 7 or 8, you really realized that entertainment or just music in general, the art of music, just needed to be in your life.
Yeah, I think so it was around that time where it's music. I guess for entertainment, it was more, I'd say like high school, because that's when I really got into kind of like musical theater and performing and singing and doing competitions and things like that. But I mean, I guess I'm going too far ahead, because it was really like late in elementary school into middle school that I started to kind of do these, my dad and I would just go and do these different auditions and competitions and things. And so, for me, it didn't really hit me, I guess, until high school, that like, this is something that I could really pursue and that I could, possibly make a career out of. So
did your parents see that early in you, or were they just supportive of whatever that you wanted to do in all aspects?
My parents definitely have seen this, maybe before I did, and also have really not pushed, but just inspired and encouraged and supported me. And I'm so grateful for that, because I really owe all of this and all of my success and everything that's to come, I really owe it to them, and especially to my dad, who's just been such a pivotal support system for me, and just has always been the one to just kind of like, let's go to this audition, or you know, he's always seen something in me that I maybe haven't always seen in myself. So
that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little biased, but you know, my dad is just, my parents really are just great. They've just always been very supportive. So I'm very blessed for that.
That's amazing. Did you play, now you said you played a piano just to, you know, just to play it for a little bit when you were younger. Did that like transpire into other instruments, or were you like, oh, I'm about to pick up the piano right now, or how did that even become about?
Well, I started with the piano, and I still have it. It's actually behind me. That's my keyboard from 1997. And I'm going to keep her forever as long as she works, and she does, and she still plays, and she still has like the old beats and stuff. It's amazing. So we might have to check that out later. I'm not sure.
That's authentic. That is like literally authentic.
Yes. So that's the keyboard. I was downstairs in my basement, just like playing, writing songs about, again, stuff that I had no business writing songs about. But you know, that was it. That's the one. And then I got a guitar for Christmas. I got an acoustic guitar for Christmas that I also still have. It's actually at work right now. But my uncle, who played a little bit, just taught me a few chords, and then I just kind of took it from there. And now I'm not a really great guitar player by any means. I can use it to accompany people, and I use it to accompany my patients. So I know basic chords, but
it seemed like in some of these Instagram videos, it was definitely better than what I would have been playing right now. Just a few chords, my bot. Like, what?
Thank you. You know, you'd be surprised that you can play most songs with like maybe 4 chords. So
really,
but I appreciate that. You know, I don't know. I see people who do all that fancy, you know, riffs and stuff, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. I'm gonna strum it. I'm gonna strum it for you, but I'm not gonna do all that other stuff. So
it's possible though. You can definitely play your butt off, so to speak.
Thank you.
So with that being said, like that was more so you said your high school years. So after high school, when you realized singing could make me money, I could pursue this in a way to provide for my family. Like those type of thoughts start to come in your mind. So what did you do after high school that really pushed your career a little bit further than you were in high school?
So I decided to just jump right in, and I went to Christopher Newport University here in Newport News, and I did a 4-year degree in vocal performance, which that was more so geared towards like classical and opera. And so I studied opera for 4 years, and I, you know, kind of thought about that, doing master's programs and, you know, really going that route. And so I graduated, and then I started teaching voice lessons for a few years while still trying to figure out how was I going to make this, you know, tangible, how I was going to take this this degree and everything and make it. And, I just kind of got stuck. I kind of got lost a little bit, and just kind of in a way gave up that dream, and kind of gave up the possibility of really making music my career.
Wow. And
then I kind of found music therapy, which has been so fulfilling for me in my life, and it's been such a blessing and a calling on my life. But I also still just feel this nudge for more, and for, like we said, the entertainment part and the performing part, because that's also where my heart is. And so but you know, after high school, I jumped right in. I went right into, I'm going to do the 4-year degree. I'm going to study voice. I'm going to, you know, and I don't know what I was thinking at that point, but I quickly learned, you know, once you got out of that and you got into the real world, that it's not that easy. It's not that easy to make a career. At
this point, you got to create your own lane. when it comes
Exactly.
to if you do go to college and you can't come out and, do whatever you need to do. Some people, are capable of doing it. Others,
Yeah.
it's not as easy. Like you said, it's not as easy to go in your field and be like, okay, well, I thought this is what I wanted to do. But then it makes you think all different types of things. So, because I went to Norfolk State, and I made at the beginning, I majored in computer science information systems, and I was like, okay, well, I know I'm good at computers, but I don't really care for this. So in the middle of me saying I don't really care for this, I found my way to Hot 91, which is the radio station at Norfolk State, and I was like, I like this better, so I'm going to switch my major over to this. And mass communications became my love, and then everything else really just fell into place. Like concerts, I started doing fashion shows. I started, I was doing everything entertainment-wise. So I was like, building computers, it would have got me money, but I think this mass communications thing, this thing called entertainment is what I'm passionate about. And eventually the bigger picture will give me money, but I see myself down the line like helping so much more in this than I would in computer science. So, I mean, I'm still building websites and stuff like that. I still have knowledge of that, but it's just like that's just one step with this entertainment thing. So I'm blessed, but I'm also like, okay, well, I could have been doing computer science, but now I'm here with my own entertainment, so to speak. Yeah. And like you said, it's just a calling that you have, and it's just phenomenal for me, and I know it is for you as well, because you've been many places with this thing called entertainment. Because not only are you on the Voice of Fire, you've been doing a lot of other things like rebranding yourself with Rothstein Beat. So how did that? I know I'm jumping around, but when you came out of college and music therapy was your go-to and what you love to do, and you said you felt that nudge. What was that nudge, and what did it lead you to this day?
So it actually relates because it was getting into Voices of Fire. So I had one of my friends had seen the article in the paper when they were auditioning, when they were announcing auditions, and it might have been a few people that reached out and were like, Megan, you should do it, and I was like, why? I've never sung gospel in my life, but I did. I recorded the last day of the auditions. I recorded the audition tape in my car, just just being myself, and I sang, and I sent the tape off, not thinking anything of it, because again, I'd been doing this for years and years and years and years and years and years, and just had, it was just another audition for me, and it turned out to have completely changed my life.
It turned out to be that
audition. And so I just, it's been a roller coaster since then, but obviously that even just getting a call about the callbacks that, they want me, they want me to come, lifted my confidence so much that just kind of allowed me to put myself out there more. And that's how I met Rothstein, was just kind of putting myself out there, making connections within Hampton Roads with different artists, different musicians. And then through that, I met Rothstein, and it was just kind of this it just was meant to be. It just kind of happened exactly how it was supposed to. And we were brought together in kind of a not ideal circumstance, but the outcome has just been incredible. And when we first met, I had my guitar and I was just playing, and we were just vibing, and we just had a conversation. And I remember he asked me, because I was telling him my story and just how I had always wanted to maybe do an album one day. And he just was like, what are you waiting for? And that kind of stood, having all of this experience and, now being in this choir, it's just like, what am I waiting for? And so that was August of last year that he and I met, around that time. And here we are almost a year later, and it's just been amazing. And I'm just so ready for what's to come. I'm so excited and just so grateful. So, so grateful.
Me too, because he said he loves you, Meg.
Love you too,
in the
Rob.
comments. Hello. I love it. I love it. So so after that, I know, like you said, it was a roller coaster ride for you, even through the process of the Voice of Fire and starting to become, I guess, your own entity, if that makes sense. Like, how did the Voice of Fire help you move towards where you are now? Like, because that entertainment side is a whole different ball game. So I'm pretty sure you learned so much from that. So if you can talk a little bit about that,
Sure.
that would be so great.
Yes, I learned so much and very quickly. I mean, we were just thrown in, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the only way that you really can get a taste or a sense of what the industry, what the entertainment kind of, what all of that entails and what it's like. And, you know, so I've definitely learned about just how quick it's very fast paced, and you have to just be ready. You just have to stay on your toes and be ready, because things could change last minute. We can rehearse a whole song and a whole choreography and then get to the filming and they'll change it, or they'll change the you know, so and that's just the nature of the beast. And you know, so we've of course, since COVID, we haven't been able to travel as much, but when we first kind of got established and we were traveling, and yeah, it was almost a shock of sorts, because I think for a lot of us, we were still feeling, you know, like the fans. We're just like in awe of where these places that we're going. And I definitely can speak for myself in saying, yes, I felt like, you know, I'm seeing these people and being around these people who are just phenomenal artists and so well known and acclaimed, and just, you know, so it's kind of that transition of moving past that to, okay, you're an entertainer, and you're you know, your goal is to get to that level. So you know, you have to kind of hold yourself at a different level, and just being professional and being, you know, not in any way cocky, but just confident and knowing that you belong here and you've earned your spot here. And but it definitely has just been a literal roller coaster of traveling.
They'll put you out in a minute. They don't have I forgot the guy, the choir director's name.
Shaking the Tree, Patrick Elder-Riddick. Yes.
He will tell you what you listen.
And did and does. Okay. So, you know, but I respect him for that, because he knows what he's doing.
It's no
and he's been doing this a long time.
It's no, like, in your feelings, let's do this, it's all less. We're family at the end of the day, but right now, we got to get this in order. And I loved it. I was like, Jesus.
Yes. So he gets it done.
So you said you never did gospel music before, because you were more, you are a more, like, you have a different soul. Like your aura is like very, very like pinkish, so to speak, and it's like very vibrant. So you can sing, like what we like to say is
thank you.
Like, and with acapella, you could put you over anything and you would sound extremely good. Like your voice, and I'm just, when I had my son listening to it, and he was like, "Who is that, Mom? She sounds good." I was like,
thank you so much.
Music, but but you said you never did the gospel music. So how did that change you as a person, and how did that change you as an artist?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's definitely because I've always considered myself to be a spiritual person.
Correct.
Not very much a religious person per se. But being back in this atmosphere of being in church and singing in church and singing with a choir has just really changed my spirit. It's touched my spirit and just really uplifted me in such a beautiful way. And I've made such great connections with people, and a few of them are here, and I just want to say I love you guys. Thanks for checking in and tapping in. But just being around like-minded people who love music and who love God and who just want to sing and just feel that spirit that music brings. That's definitely completely changed me as a person in the best way. And then as an artist, I've just learned how to use my voice in a different way. And
as like many instruments. Your voice is like different instruments.
Thank you. But yes, vocal cords like are their own instrument. And so it's like, I'm really, and it's through my peers and it's through, you know, just our leaders and people who have been singing this style of music, singing gospel for their whole lives. And so it's just, it takes you to another place. And I definitely just feel like, since I've been learning this music and singing it and loving it so much that it's taught me to kind of not be afraid to try new things and just to see how far my voice can go, where I can take it, what it can do. And if anything, it's also just a reminder too, as an artist, just to stay connected to what you're singing, because especially in gospel music, that's what it's all about. So, yeah, so that's a really good question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, has your voice taken you to an international level, or has it just, have you just been traveling the state?
Just the state. So that's one of my big goals, very soon, because I've never traveled outside of the U.S.
Wow.
So we were supposed to go to, the Global Citizens Festival, which is this big festival. They did it in New York City, and we went to that the first time, but then the second time it was going to be in Nigeria, and we were supposed to go, and that was going to be my first trip out of the U.S., and I was just so excited, and then boom, COVID happened. So I haven't been out of the U.S. yet, but I will. That's 100%. I will be taking my music just across the globe.
Will take you there.
I know. Hello. Yeah, we were just before we talked on the phone a little bit, and he was telling me some things about some places that we may be going, and I was just like, okay, my bags are packed. So.
Right.
You just let me know, and I'll quit. I'll just quit my job. So
I'll take a leave of absence.
Right.
Don't quit, so you can have something to come back for if you need to. If I don't see you needing a job. However, you never know. You never know. Just like pandemic happened, you never know what can happen at the drop of a dime. So, being that the pandemic did happen, what can you tell me that helped you in the long run? Because I know you said you met Rothstein, and that was during the pandemic situation, and you're about to drop some new music, which also happened during the pandemic. So can you give me some of the positives? Because I don't want to focus too much on the negative aspect, because everybody has been going through stuff during the pandemic.
Yes.
So, give me some good things that have came out of the pandemic.
Well, I had more time to so I was still working, but because we all know that everyone's energy was just very isolative. So I had a lot of time to work on my writing, and I really, for as long as I have been writing, which hasn't been, I was writing when I was like little, writing about those things that I didn't know better about, but so then recently is when I really started to get back into that. And so I had having that time kind of isolation enabled me to really be intentional about my writing and about my lyrics, and to just kind of practice that. And just all the music that I've made throughout this last year or so. And not all of it is shareable. Not all some of it will stay with me, but it's just the fact that I'm continuing to create and continuing to work on my craft and just keep getting better. Because it's really cool to hear, the very first song or two that we kind of worked on together to where we are now. And that was all through the pandemic. So that's definitely been a huge positive.
What's that difference? Like, can you hear your growth in your voice, or
I think it's my voice, just my song, like the lyrics have even gotten better. The themes of songs, I've kind of just expanded, and I'm finding my voice and my style and my, because when we first started working together, I told Rossi and I said, I don't want to be put into a box of a genre per se.
Right.
I know that we have to in a way, but I want to make my own, kind of style, or I just, I want people to hear my music and I want them to feel something. And so whatever style or genre that is, that's what I want to do. But that's, those have, definitely been some positives, and that's a lot the growth that I've seen.
I had a note, like I did have a note on my research, and I was going to ask you about, like, if you could, this is what it is. If you could name your vocal ability, what would you name it?
Like with an adjective, or
yeah, that, or just like, because you don't want to put yourself in the genre of like a soul singer. You don't,
right,
like,
right.
that type of example. Like, what would you call it? If it's not hip hop, if it's not soul, what would you name it?
I would say either like soul or R&B with a little jazz influence. Yeah, it's because I'm kind of just like, I like to little mix things, and I feel like you could hear the different influences.
Correct.
From the classical, I also really, really love jazz, and Ella Fitzgerald was somebody that I listened to just on repeat growing up. And so I feel like some of her influences there, and Anita Baker and people like that. So I kind of draw on from all genres of music. And so, but yeah, I would say, I guess, like soul R&B.
Soul R&B,
maybe.
Okay. Solar B.
Solar B, yes. We making it up,
right? That's exclusive
yes.
access.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, that is funny. That is super funny. So, after the pandemic, up until now, you said you've been working on a lot of songs, and one of them, which is your debut single called "Ride."
Yes.
So can you give us a little bit of information about that and where that inspiration came from?
Yes. I am so excited to share this song because it just kind of speaks about my journey as a singer, as a human being, as a woman, as an artist. And it kind of is just summed up with like the first line of the song, which is, "It's been a long time coming." And so it's just kind of speaking on the fact that life is a journey, life is a ride. And, there's so many different ways to interpret it. For me, it's just how things have kind of fallen into place, and things have kind of just happened in the time that they're supposed to happen. And, that all of it was just part of the journey. It's just part of the ride to whatever's next. And so, the song just kind of really just talks about where I've been and where I'm going. And I'm really excited that it's almost time to share it.
Almost time.
Right. Hey, can't wait. So
is this going to be a part of like an EP or LP or?
Yes, it's going to be a part of a larger project. Yes, so to be announced soon. But it's definitely part of a larger scale project. So we're cooking. We are
roundabout
up
month?
to something.
Is there any like a roundabout month?
Beginning of next year is probably, yeah. So
exclusive access.
So we're gonna make you wait a little bit, but it's gonna be worth it. And once this single comes out, I hope that people will really start to get excited about what else is coming. So
do you have like an amount of songs that's going to be up there, or
we're gonna do around 10 or so?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All original, all
all
the songs.
original, all original Meg and Rothstein beats.
Look at Rothstein in the comments.
Yes, I know. So,
Do you have
yes.
music videos and stuff in line? Because
yes, yeah.
I saw some of the things that you had was behind the scenes and so on and so forth. So if people are waiting for you to drop a music video. So do y'all, that's in the works as well?
Yes, absolutely in the works. Yes, I mean we've got and then we've got another photo shoot in like 2 weekends. So we're working. When I tell you that we're working.
So when the city opened up, y'all was like, boom, let me
right.
let me
Let's go. Right.
Down.
Yes, we are out here. So we are out here. So y'all get ready. I'm just saying. We outside, right? Shout out to Hot Girl Meg, okay? Yes.
All summer we outside,
yes.
baby. Meg says she's ready to go. She got her bags packed. So
yes, ma'am. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. And I also asked this question to my guests. How important do you feel to have or how important is it to have that group, that working group around you that helps you, with anything that you need help with? Like, how important is that? And explain the support that you have coming from those that are around you.
It's incredible. I couldn't do it. I could not do any of this without my support team. I have to share the first photo shoot that I did a few months ago. I had just an incredible team of, my best friends, but also like incredibly talented makeup artists and just kind of like creative directors and photographers and Rothstein, and just we're walking down Virginia Beach like we owned the city, okay? Because it was just our triage, and I just felt like $1 million because they had my back. And so that's, if I could sum up my support group, from my friends and my family and the people who have really just been there from the beginning, and the people who, knew me before they mean everything to me. And, they really just make me who I am. They make me want to be better. And, but I could not do any of this I couldn't do it by myself. So I'm so appreciative, so grateful. They know who they are. They're in here, so love you guys. And, yes, we are all going up. We're all winning this year and next year. And
big fact. Speaking of manifestation is really, really big in my life.
Yes.
So when you speak it, you get it. You feel me?
Amen.
But we are at 40 after, and I know we could talk all day about all certain things, because we didn't even touch on all of it, because I wanted to know a little bit more about the record label, how you even signed, and so on and so forth. But we can save that for our next interview when you when you do drop your debut single. you like how I did that, right? You like how I did that?
Yes. I was waiting for it, so thank you.
So if you like, right now we have Sweet 16. So if you would like, you can either play some of your music that you have, or sing however you would like.
I'll share a little bit. This is just a little sneak, okay?
Exclusive access.
Of the debut single. So here we go.
Exclusive access.
It's been a long time coming, but I'm on my way up. Now they're about to slow up. Yeah. And I'm not done running toward my purpose. Gonna make it worth it. Hard as I try, I can't deny. Don't wanna do this alone.
Exclusive
Come join
access.
the ride on your own time. See what's inside of your soul. Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Where I'm gonna go? Do you wanna go? I am on a roll. Do you wanna go? Where I'm gonna go? Do you wanna go?
Ooh.
Little sneak peek for you, okay?
Ooh, Rothstein.
Hey.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
Rothstein on the beat.
Listen, those stacks. Do you hear me? Them stacks was like, ooh. Oh, listen, I can hear it. I'm
Stacks
very
on
musically
stacks.
and good. I'm musically
Yes.
inclined, so I heard
Yes.
Okay.
Those harmonies. Okay. Yes. So
I know a little bit, just a little bit.
okay. Yes. Yes.
And that was a little snippet of Ride, your new, oh my God, I can't believe your debut. I can't even get it right. You didn't. I am at a loss for words. Oh my God.
It's a good
Listen,
thing.
I got this idea, but I don't want to share it with anybody yet, but you're definitely going to be a part of this idea because I don't think nobody has ever seen it done or has done it. So I'm going to, once I get all of my collectives together, listen, you're going to be number one.
Bags are packed.
I know that's right.
So
now, would you ever consider singing background for people, or have you experienced that yet?
Absolutely. I mean, with the choir alone, absolutely.
Right.
And I'm learning all about like BGVs, and so I'm definitely getting that experience because a lot of our songs we'll have a soloist, and so it's a lot of call and response or just kind of backing them up. So absolutely, I definitely am not one of those people that's like I'm only a soloist, and I like to support other artists. I like to support my friends who are artists, and if you need accompaniment or if you need a background vocalist or if you need harmonies or if you just need somebody there to like fan you.
So pretty much you know how to play your position is what I'm getting at. You know how.
Yes, ma'am.
We need. Listen, you're working on a whole project for you while doing background, while in a choir, while writing something for somebody else. Do you know how dope that is? Like, not a lot of people can do that and or want to do that.
Yeah.
Like you're keeping up with everything that you need to do. You're doing everything that you need to do, and I'm sure it's going to be much more success coming from this interview. Now,
hello. Yes. Yes.
On top of this interview, but in life in general, because I'm speaking that for you into existence because your energy is immaculate. Like I said before, I'm an aura person. Like when I just started to get this way, and I just started to really realize the value that I have in myself and that I could give to others. So I just want to give you inspiration. And I just want to tell you to keep going because listen, it's only up from here. And I see really, really big things for you in the near future and in the overall bigger picture. So stick with it.
Thank
Don't
you
ever
so
give
much.
up. Whether it be doing it for yourself, doing it for someone else, it does, at this point it doesn't matter because you have the best of both worlds. You have the ability to make a transition into being something that you can't see right now, but you will definitely be able to see. And I'm speaking that into existence for you. And this is just our first time meeting, and so
I know
that's just how. Like, I literally just got I just got cold. Like, listen, I believe in all of that.
Me
so,
too.
Like I said before, I'm just speaking this into this for you, and just as fast as my brain can think it, the words that come out of my mouth.
Thank you.
So, dang, that was amazing. That was definitely amazing.
Thank you so much.
But let's get to the top 5, and then we're gonna do 50 after, and then 55 after, or I'll do the question of the day, and then 55 after. Well, you gave me my exclusive access, but I got an extra exclusive and a confirmation that you can release the date of the actual single here. I talked to Rothstein, so I was like,
we got permission. Yes,
Hercules.
we did.
Okay, so let's get to this top five.
Okay.
All right, top 5 songs you performed, because I know you do a lot of cover songs as well. So you can add that into that, or your original stuff. So top 5.
Okay. Ooh. So one that comes to mind. So most of them will be covers.
Okay.
Just because this, me performing and writing my own music is
Fresh.
a somewhat new concept, which is just very exciting. It's just like you said, this is just the beginning. So, but one song that I have did so much throughout my singing competition kind of part of my life was Misery by Pink and Steven Tyler. It's not, I don't think it's a very well-known song, but it's so just full of soul, and Pink just kind of sings her face off in that song, and so it really gives you a chance to kind of show off your voice a little bit. So Misery by Pink and Steven Tyler. I used to do these, they were called the country showdowns at the fair where I grew up, and so please picture that for me, if you will. And I sang All Jacked Up by Gretchen Wilson. That song is so vocally challenging. It's just such a hard song, but if you can do it and you can pull it off, it really shows. It shows off your voice, So Gretchen Wilson, All Jacked Up. That's another one that was just a favorite to perform. Let's see. I also I love singing anything by her. I love her voice, and just there's a couple covers that like Hard Place is one that I love to do acoustically.
Did you do Damage yet?
I haven't. No, that's a good one. I know they're all just like.
That's a special request. That's my person. You could dedicate it to me.
I got you. Yeah.
I will love you forever. I will dance at your wedding, and I'm not even sing a tune.
Wow, real? You mean it? Sing a tune. Okay, I'm on it.
Let's
one
see, more.
Okay. So I'll do one of my old original songs. So this was after I first got my guitar, I started writing a little bit more, and so I wrote a song called Come Home, and it was so sad. It was such a sad song, and but it was just my 4 or so chords, but I connected to it when I sang it, and I actually did perform that one year at a competition because you got extra points if you did an original song. So, but yeah, so that song was called Come Home.
Oh, do you remember it?
So sad. I do. Yeah, so it started, it was like, looking out my window and I'm thinking of you. Can't help but wonder, do you think of me too? Here's where it gets sad. Since I know that you probably don't, I must confess. Since the day you left me, I have been a big mess. I was like 13 or 14, I think, when I wrote that song. Like, girl, are you okay?
Right.
Are you okay? I'm okay. But yeah, that was Come Home. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. I like that. Like I said, your voice is, you can sing blah blah black sheep, have you even the bull. You will sound like, I need for you to do a song with Fantasia or Jasmine Sullivan or like
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, those type of that.
Yeah.
Those are some, or Kiki
Powerhouse.
Kiki Wyatt.
Yes.
I'm speaking this.
Yes, please. Keep naming them.
I know. I'm like, oh, people don't realize it's so much, like R&B
Yes.
and soul, and
Yeah.
the list goes on. But let's move to the top 5. Top 5 states you've traveled to.
Ooh, so New York City for sure. It's one of my
Mm-hmm.
top 5. I just went to California for the first time with the choir. Must have been early last year, I think. Washington State. It's beautiful out there. When it's not raining, just like the the mountains and things like that. Let me see. North Carolina for the beach, I'll say. And yeah, see, I need to do more traveling. And Florida for Universal Studios. I'm more of a Universal than a Disney girl, but I am a huge Transformers fan also.
My son is
And
too.
I really,
Yeah.
I went to Universal, and then right after I left is when they built the Transformers ride. I was like, cool. I'll come back, I guess, when I have kids because it's
Right.
expensive. But yeah, so
They're gonna go.
but
We're
it's
gonna
still
speak that into existence.
yes, thank you.
Your performance will pay for your trip and your family. You hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
and I can finally go meet Optimus Prime in person.
I can't wait to see that big smile, boy.
Yes, right.
Ear to ear.
Right. Dreams do come true.
We did it, Mom.
Right. This one's for you. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so top 5 artists you like to feature or get a feature on or get a feature from.
Okay. So can we do people who are no longer living?
Yes, you can.
So Ella Fitzgerald. I would just love to do a song with her. I would love to do a song. Lord, there's so many. I would love to do a song with Faith Hill. I feel like her and our voices would really complement one another. I definitely would love to. So there's a few local artists that, I mean, there's so much talent in this area, you know. So definitely would love to get on a song with Bran the Brain. Okay. Yes. There's a local artist. He goes by Wilkes. I have met him one time. We were both at the same studio. He happened to be coming in, and I've just been blown away by his voice. He's so vocally, just has a beautiful voice, and he's very musical, very humble. So, I would love to get on a song with him.
Got one more.
Let's see. All right, let me pick somebody like kind of famous. I haven't picked a male besides okay. I don't know why I can't think of him. Marcus Richardson. I want to get on a song with Marcus Richardson, who's also in Voices of Fire. So check out Marcus Richardson. Yes.
Like, if y'all don't know this girl, you need to know. I know that's right.
Let me get on a song with Goldie too. That's my girl Maria. Me and Maria are gonna get on a song too. My Lord, I'm so sorry.
Do you know who I really like? And I liked her before, but I like Shania Twain.
Yes.
Do you like Shania Twain?
I love Shania Twain.
Because I watched, what was it, the Netflix series Pop, or it's
Pop
she was something like that.
I think she was on there.
And she was like the transition for, like, I guess I don't want to say urban, but like that type of style of country to transition over. So
yes.
I don't know why her name came to mind, but I was like, when you started listing Faith Hill, I was like, Shania Twain will be right next to her. Like, y'all would just a lot of things that you could do. Your voice, your vocal ability can fit with just about any genre, to be 100% honest. And I'm just gonna keep giving you compliments, but it's okay.
Thank you so much.
So I got 2 more of these, and then we're gonna get to the wind down and exclusive access. Bam, 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 bam. And question of the day. Top 5 auditions you've had.
Ooh, okay. So I could literally do all 5 as being The Voice, because I auditioned for The Voice like at least 5 or 6 times, and it wasn't until the 5th or 6th time, the very last time I've auditioned, that I got through the first round. So there's like several rounds before you're even on the show, but you know, I got my little red ticket so I could come out and just be like, yes. So that I've auditioned for The Voice. I auditioned for American Idol a few times. I auditioned for American Junior, which was and I have the funniest picture of me before, like where I'm all dressed up, and this is little teeny Megan, you know, because American Junior was for kids, and it was only
like
you know, 1 season.
So?
Yeah, and it only lasted. But so, and then I have a picture after, because of course I didn't make it, and it's me and the Statue of Liberty is behind me, and I just look pissed. Girl, I was pissed. I was just like, y'all got me out here dressed up and looking all crazy. I had a leather hat on, like, girl, you looking stupid. So, but it was, you know, looking back, laughing at it, and just like, look at how far I've come. American Junior, you know? So, but I did America's Got Talent. When I tell you, me and my dad went everywhere to all of these shows.
Through the East Coast, you said, though.
Yes.
So you didn't really have to go to LA or to those.
Right. Because they would, they would have spots, you know, all throughout. So we would just find the dates when they were either in New York or Pennsylvania or New Jersey. And
they need to bring that stuff back, because you don't see too much stuff on the East Coast anymore. Maybe in DC, maybe. Yeah. But other than that, it's no more of the new. Well, of course, it's always going to be New York, but anywhere in between, like it's not too much of the big things, and we need to collectively bring that back.
Because the East Coast has serious talent.
Yes, especially Virginia.
Especially Virginia.
We got so much stuff that people don't know about. The Yellow Rangers from Virginia, you guys didn't even know that. So it was just like, y'all don't know a lot of things. We have Oscar winners out here. We have like Sundance winners out here. Like, it's so much talent out here. When I went to a meeting that was just for photographers, like that have been like an international, I was appalled. Like, I've been missing out on a lot of things in Virginia. It seems like an underground club or something. When I had to bartend there because I'm trying to always make some moolah somewhere. Right. So when they invited me, I was like, so you guys are the ones cutting the checks too. So y'all, okay, I see where this is at. So I'm like, heck yeah, we have so much talent, so much talent. Yes. But,
and I gotta say, Voices of Fire auditions too. I think I had one more. So gotta say, Voices of Fire audition, of course.
Yes, because you would have, if you didn't submit that, I think a lot of people would have been mad. A lot of people would have been mad.
It was all part. Yes, it was all part of the plan.
It was. So. It was that. Listen, you're coming full circle with what you need to be doing, and that's entertainment. So, last one. Top 5. Did I do this? No. Top 5 singing competitions.
Ooh, okay. So one of them was at the Kennedy Center, which was it was called Millennium Icon. It was in 2007. It was through the Boys and Girls Club. And so we got to, I think it was in the DC chapter, because it was at the Kennedy Center. So this was so long ago, but I was looking through my old, I have a scrapbook of stuff, of all of these. So we got to sing right up on one of the stages. It wasn't, wasn't the main stage, but, just the fact that I was singing at the Kennedy Center was such a huge honor. Another competition, let's see, was, I won my high school, they did a Mass Phonics Idol, I think. And I did that in 9th or 10th grade, I think. I won a was called River. So I did a lot of like local idol contests. So there was one called River Walk Idol that was in like Tappahannock, Virginia. They might still do this festival. It's called River Fest, but it's this outdoor, you know, just street festival. And so I got to do that one. And then one that I really got a lot out of the experience. I didn't go away with anything, but I went and met this really talented, this was up in New York, and it was like an art song or classical kind of competition. And I met this singer who I think she had studied at Juilliard, and she just, when she opened her mouth, she had one of the most beautiful operatic, but also so jazzy. It was just like, you are going places. And so I still, you know, keep up with her to this day, because I just know that it's just going to take the right person to hear her, because her voice just took me to another. I mean, she was just singing, I think she sang something from Porgy and Bess, which is just a pretty renowned opera, but she, oh my gosh, it was just incredible. She's had such a beautiful voice. And so I just really enjoyed that experience because I got to meet her and hear her sing. So it's so cool how, you know, these different experiences introduce you to new people, and you know, it's not all about, it's never really about winning or taking away. It's about the experience and, you know, what you get from it and who you meet, and you know,
because people they don't cherish that experience, or they don't live in the moment, so to speak, because phones and social media and, you know, so many things are taking away the attention that you really just need to focus on what you're doing. Like, I've realized that after a while, because I used to be the one like, oh, I'm gonna get on my phone and take selfies, but then I was just like, I'll do that in a minute, but I really want to enjoy this, seeing what I'm seeing and living in the moment. Like, I'm here. First of all, I got to realize that I'm here. And then second of all, I have to realize all the people that are around me. And then it's just like, it's just an effect. And you just be like, dang, I'm here. I made it here. How did I get here? Now I got to talk to folks. Now I have to, right? Yes, you got to be like, now I got to be presentable. Now you got to do what what you were brought here to do. Like, and some people take that for granted. And that's good that you did not, and that's good that you're on the ups and ups with all of your career and what you have going on, because you're definitely, like I said before, and I will say and continue to say, you're definitely amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Seriously, thank you.
No. Thank you. And so now we've gotten through all of the top 5. Let's push forward and do your wind down. You can give your shout outs, where they can find you, anything that you're working on, but that exclusive access will be right after. And then you're going to answer the question of the day, and then I'm going to give my outro, and then we're going to say hello.
Goodbye. Right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Definitely shout out to Marcus and Maria, who are here from Voices of Fire. If I missed anyone from Voices of Fire, I'm sorry. I don't think I saw anyone else, but I had some friends. Laura was here. Of course, shout out to Rothstein Beats. Thank you so much for everything. Just thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. It definitely means a lot. You can find me on Facebook at Megan B Music. You can find me on Instagram at megan.b.music. You can find me on Twitter at It's Megan B Music. I'm also on YouTube as well. I have 2 YouTube accounts. You can access them through my Instagram link tree. One of them is covers, and then the other one is going to be content of originals. So we definitely have a video up there just kind of showing some behind the scenes stuff. Yes, thank you so much. Go follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I can't wait to share this music with you.
Yes. Excuse me. So let's get right into it. The question of the day, and then we're going to do the exclusive access. So the question of the day that I would like you to answer is, what bothers you about the industry, and what will be your solution to fixing it?
So we kind of just touched on this a little bit, and I think it's the inauthenticity of a lot of things, of a lot of music in general, musicians, artists. I think a lot of people maybe aren't doing this for the right reasons. A lot of people are doing music for entertainment, for money, or for fame and fortune and all of that stuff. And you know, I think that just kind of taints your product, and it kind of, if the intention isn't clear behind what you're doing, then the product isn't going to be genuine. So that's kind of what I think is my biggest pet peeve with the industry, is just people not being pure in their intentions and really not putting out authentic music that really represents them as an artist. And so it's a big feat to try and overcome. I think, you know, I'm not sure what the answer would be. I just would encourage artists to just really find themselves, and to know that that's not an overnight thing, that's a process, and that it doesn't have really anything to do with music when you think about it. Like, you really have to find yourself as a person, and then as an artist, and then as a musician and as an entertainer. But, you know, I just would hope that anyone who's putting out music, or anyone that's really trying to make a name for themselves, is doing it with pure intentions, and is doing it to inspire change, or to affect people, because that's, in my opinion, that's how, you know, that's what music is supposed to be for. It's supposed to make you feel something. It's supposed to help you express your emotions, and help you kind of put into a form what maybe words you can't find to say, you know. So let me just play this song because this accurately depicts what I'm feeling. So yeah.
Awesome.
It's a great question also.
Thank you. Look at me. Ew. I get a little brownie.
Yes. Okay.
So, well, we're going to end this with exclusive access, and then I'm going to do my outro, and we're going to keep it pushing. Exclusive access. So what is your exclusive access today?
So, as you all know, I have a single coming out. It's my debut single, and it's called Ride, and it's coming out July 31st. It's this month. The end of this month, 2021, July 31st. Please mark that date on your calendar, because you're not going to want to miss this single. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So mark it, save it, circle it, July 31st, baby.
You heard it here first.
Hello.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Exclusive access. So make sure you guys listen to So Hollywood, the podcast, and her episode will be up here shortly, as well as the audio should be dropping on Wednesday. So I'll send you all of that information, as well as Rothstein Beats. I'll send him all that information. Excuse me, but you can follow the podcast, So Hollywood, the podcast. You can follow me, MISS Hollywood 313. You can follow Session 420, my engineer, G-Stacks 216. Also, The Adult Swim Mixtape Volume 4 has dropped June 11th, and it is available on many streaming platforms: LiveMixtapes.com, Mixcloud, AudioMac, Midwest Mixtapes, MyMixtapes.com, and also, I have exclusive. I have something exclusive. I will be dropping my website here shortly, www.allofhollywood.biz. You can click the link in my bio. You'll be able to access my podcast. You'll be able to purchase merchandise. You'll be able to do so much more right now, because I am building my own website. So just know that it's built out of love. Everything is handmade, made by me. So yes, that's an exclusive access. But yes, I really, really appreciate you. We can talk for hours and hours, but we are coming to an end. And if there's anything else you want to let anybody know, let's go. But if not, we're going to get up out of here.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I could sit here and talk to you all night. So, but yes, I appreciate it, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.